Well, gaming your wife. Why would a man get married only to have to work on his game with his wife? That's a good question. Pastor Dalrock wrote an article very early in his blogging about this. And he said that he's not an expert on game, so he doesn't really, try to give advice on game. But he says unless you have an arranged marriage, which probably most people don't, or your wife is a massive witch, she probably fell in love with you and is attracted to the real you. So he's not really talking about game, meaning you're like a con artist trying to get some woman to fall in love with what she hears. That's not real. He says you don't need to morph into some super alpha, probably. You just need to avoid morphing into a sniveling beta as you go on in your marriage. It's betaization by 1,000 concessions, as Rich Cooper calls it. I think that's a great saying. He says maybe you just need to alpha up a little bit, embrace the natural alpha. He says unless being a sniveling beta is your natural and preferred state, avoiding that shouldn't really be something that feels like work. Guys don't really become sniveling betas because they want to, or it's because they're who they are. They do it because they don't understand and mistakenly listen to all the messages of our feminized culture. And I've done many videos on this. And all the pastors that tell you you must be a beta because they are steeped in egalitarianism. He says the foundation for her commitment to your marriage should be your game. If she is only a one or a few or even 50 failed fitness tests away from walking away from her sacred vow and or whoring around, then she isn't a wife, she is a harlot. It says don't marry a harlot. Game should be about making your wife happier with your marriage, not about putting the sole onus for the success of the marriage on you. Being a man is fun. Enjoy it. Then she can enjoy you being a man too. Part of game is about understanding what makes you attractive as a man. Appreciate yourself without getting a big head. Being able to appreciate yourself will also allow you to appreciate what is great about your wife without becoming a sniveling beta. Chances are a lot of game already comes naturally to you. Even as a beta, I guess Dalrock, he admits that he is a beta at heart here. He says, even as a beta, I realize that I have been doing much of what game would teach without really thinking about it. As she has learned more about game, my wife has commented on this multiple times. Here's a quote from his wife. Wait, you have always done that. And so that is why I like it when you do that. And hey, you just did it, didn't you? Talking about using a game technique. Dalrock says Hawaiian libertarian describes game as being cocky funny. He says stuff happens and fitness tests happen. It isn't as if you're free from fitness tests until you get married and then all of a sudden you have to deal with them. The only way you can avoid them is to avoid women and girls. And even then, it may not be avoidable with our feminized culture. You'll get fitness tests from guys. As with every other unavoidable aspect of life, you may as well learn how to handle them. Her fitness tests are her problem, not yours. Ooh, I like that. As a loving husband, you want to help her with her problems, but don't assign yourself responsibility for them. That's good. Her problems are her problems. You don't have to solve all of her problems, especially idiotic, dumb problems that she has. He says fitness tests are an opportunity. Pass them and good things will come your way. And even if they don't come immediately, passing them is still more pleasant for both of you than failing them. As you get better at handling fitness tests, you should get fewer and fewer of them. So in summary, as long as your wife, basically likes you for who you are, not who you pretend to be, then you're okay. Just avoid being too beta all the time. You don't have to be Mr. Super Alpha. Be cocky funny and pass her fitness tests. Don't always try to solve all her problems because most of her problems will go away within a day or two anyway. I've noticed that too. My wife comes to me, she has this big problem, blah, blah, blah. And you got to give her an answer, okay? You got to make it so she's like, I need to know if this is A or B, which one should I choose? As a husband, you don't say, hey, it doesn't matter which one you choose. Just pick one and go with it. Don't ever say that. You as the husband, Just pick one. You don't even have to give a reason. It's A. That's the one. And if she says, why? What? Give me 10 reasons. Say, no, that's the one. I know it's it. That's it. Done. Or if you don't want to give an answer, let's say you really just don't want to give an answer. You say, listen, I'm going to make a choice. Let me think about it. And I'm going to get back to you tomorrow on that. Half the time, tomorrow comes and she forgot about that because she's got 20 other things that she's thinking about. Oh, man, I got this, that, blah, 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 right? Just on to the next thing about whatever else, okay? And then make a joke about it. Amused mastery. We'll get into that. Handle those fitness tests. And you can win at it. And also, Christ is winning. He is building his church. And the gates of hell will not prevail against it. Until next time, this is the Post Millennial Man.